You don't need to rely on luck to win in Clash Royale. In this video, I will share the top 5 most used cards based on the data, why they're so used and how they could be more used, but I will not waste your time. Number 5. Goblin Barrel. This card has a usage rate of 29.7%. Here's how. The Goblin Barrel was released in 2016 when Clash Royale came out, and it's an epic spell from Arena 6 that needs only 3 elixir to deploy. The Goblin Barrel deals an insane amount of damage per second, which makes it the highest damage spell in Clash Royale by far, and each goblin has a lot of health points, making it very hard to counter, which makes this card really good for doing the following. Goblin Barrel is most known in the log bait decks, where the players need to use other bait cards in their deck to force the opponent to play their Goblin Barrel counter. This way, nobody can actually stop the Goblin Barrel at all when it locks onto the tower, and the damage will build up very quickly. Number 4. Valkyrie. This card has a usage rate of 30.2%. Here's how. The Valkyrie was also released in 2016 with the Goblin Barrel, and it's a rare troop from Arena 2 that needs 4 elixir to deploy. The Valkyrie has a high health to elixir ratio, which means that it is worth more elixir than the 4 you need to use it, because it's an absolute tank, and plus it does splash damage, so it can effectively clear swarm troops while taking a lot of damage in return. And even better, the Valkyrie can also take out tanks as well. Even everyone's favorite card does not stand a chance. But you might be wondering, if this card is so good, why is it not the most used card? Well, the truth is that the Valkyrie would be more used if it was faster, because it's so slow. Now we just have the top 3 most used cards left, but in future videos I will be sharing even more of the highest used cards and their best decks, so make sure to subscribe to see more. Number 3. Fireball. This card has a usage rate of 32.3%. Here's how. Fireball was also released with the other cards in this list. It is a rare spell from the tutorial and it needs 4 elixir to use. The Fireball deals instant damage, making it a great counter to troops that have a lot of units, such as the Barbarians or the 3 Musketeers. And it's excellent against decks like Lumberloon, but all good cards have their downsides too. The Fireball is not nearly as fast as the Zap spell, but the damage definitely makes up for it. Plus, it cannot take down troops with high health points like the P.E.K.K.A. And of course, everyone's favorite card, which is why our next card is so much better. Number 2. Skeleton Army. This card has a usage rate of 33.5%. Here's how. The Skeleton Army was released once again with all the other cards on the list. If you're noticing a pattern, I'll leave that to you, but it is an epic spell from the Arena 6 that needs 3 elixir to deploy. There are actually 15 skeletons in total that make it easy to take out cards with a lot of hit points, and actually any card pretty much, but there are a couple of exceptions, and the Skeleton Army is really overpowered, more than what most people think, unless you're above 6,000 trophies. But besides that, it's definitely worth using. For example, worried about the giant skeleton? This is the perfect counter. Or maybe you're worried about everyone else's favorite card. That's no problem, because it still works if they place the Mega Knight first. Of course, the Skeleton Army would be more useful if it wasn't so weak to spells, and it's not exactly my favorite win condition, but even the next card makes this one look like Boom Beach. Number 1. Log. This card has a usage rate of 38.7%. Here's how. The Log was released a full month after the other cards on this list. It is a legendary spell from Arena 11 that is just 2 elixir to use. The Log does phenomenal area damage, so it's really good against swarm troops. But the next reason is why the Log is the most used card in Clash Royale. The Log can knock back ground troop, which can be used to reset their attack or push them out of range of a tower. For example, worried about a Ram Rider? Just log it right before it hits your tower, so the tower is not already gone in 5 seconds. If you're interested, check out this video next.